Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LA Podcasts. Me and Levi Hutch together here to give you 10 tips for upcoming freshmen. Levi's going to take it away with tip number 1 here for you.
Hey guys, this is Levi here, part of LA Podcast, and we're looking forward to help you guys out with some tips here. Tip number 1, be yourself. I know this is a cheesy thing, you always hear be yourself, whatever, but it's true, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. If you like doing something at school, like you want to take a class that nobody else takes, like if you want to take a creative writing class that only 2 other people are in, well great, you can take that class and then you have 2 new friends that you can now talk to because you have something in common. If you be yourself, you will meet other people that are similar to you and you won't have fake friends.
Definitely. And another thing to chime in on that with taking classes, just to let you know, like 4 years of high school, dictates what you want to do for a living. So if you want to be an actor, take an acting class. If you want to be a song producer, take a production class of some sort. Who cares? Like, be yourself and do what you want to do. So
tip 2, do not overreact.
Yeah, don't overreact with it being high school. Maybe if your junior high was smaller and now you go to your high school and there's 4,000 kids, don't overreact with that stuff. And a lot of people, how 4 years of high school dictates, what college you're gonna be in and what you want to do for a living. But don't let all that scare you. Just let you know, and Levi, you can chime in on this, that high school, really, you do your homework and do semi-good on tests and you'll pull out a solid A in the class. Homework, definitely. Don't be lazy with your homework. You got to get that kind of stuff done. But tests, unless it's huge, just study a little bit and do well on them.
Exactly. Like, don't overreact. I know it's scary. You're a freshman now. You're at the bottom of the food chain, but that's okay. Everybody at your high school was in your shoes at some point. Yes, there's going to be some people that say, "Oh, you're a freshman, so I'm going to bully you around in the halls or something." That happens maybe for the first week, but honestly, it's nothing. They're probably just being playful. It's nothing to overreact with. Being a freshman, it's rough at first, but it's very minimal. On most circumstances, it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Understood. Tip number 3, Levi. You wanted to talk about don't overbuy school supplies.
Yes, I do, and the main reason why I want to talk about this tip is because I dealt with it myself. I thought, oh, I gotta get all these school supplies because it's gonna be, it's freshman year, you're in high school, it's the big house. So, I would go and I would get glue sticks and colored pencils and staplers and all this stuff I really don't need. It's really unnecessary. If you're taking a class that requires a special school supply like a ruler or something, it's going to be supplied. And if it's not supplied, they'll give you a heads up on it. Really, all you're going to need is a few binders for each class, maybe a notebook. Definitely keep a lot of pencils in your locker so you're never without one. Yeah. Maybe a few pens if that's what you like. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the school supplies. Don't overbuy.
2 things I want to give about the school supplies is, number 1, when you take an algebra class, or let's just say freshman year, because freshman year I took algebra 1, I thought I really had to get a really nice calculator, and I went to the store and I saw that these calculators were roughly $100, and I was nervous. I was like, should I get this? I don't want to go into freshman year and not have the supplies I need. And then I figured out, I didn't buy it, but I later figured out that they give you them for the school year. So don't buy something really expensive like that. And the second tip I wanted to give you, like I said with Levi, is make sure you have plenty of pencils with you, because teachers you don't know what kind of teacher you're going to have, but that is something, at least at our school and my former school, that if you weren't prepared for class, it is a detention. So I just wanted to let you guys know about the pencils and the calculators.
One more thing about the pencil issue is if you ask for a pencil on the second day of school, that teacher will always remember as you being unprepared. It'll always be in the back of their mind.
Definitely.
Just remember that.
Definitely. Tip number 4 I want to talk about is freshman duties. This applies to all you athletes out there that really want to play a sport. And don't let this discourage you. So freshman year, I played golf, and I only golfed for a couple of years, so I wasn't the best. And there we had to take water and all that kind of stuff, and this will be for football and baseball and that kind of stuff. And you'll have upperclassmen there that will say, "Freshman, get it. Do not question what they say. You need to do your freshman duties, and when you don't do your freshman duties, that will set you up for trouble. I mean, they might pick on you or say stuff about you, and you'll be forced to do it. So do your freshman duties. Take the water jug. It takes 3 seconds to put it on the bus. Don't worry about it. And by the end of the game, the water's gone, and it's easy to pick up. Put it on there. But don't let yourself get pushed around as a freshman, you know what I mean? So do the stuff that your coach would probably want you to do, like take the water, take the footballs or the baseballs, but don't tell someone, pack my stuff together and put it on the bus. No, don't let yourself get tossed around, but do what you have to do to help the team.
I could not have said it better myself. I didn't really have to deal with freshman duties too much because I didn't do too many sports as a freshman. But that's pretty much wraps up tip number 4. Tip number 5 is school events, and this kind of correlates with tip number 6. But for number 5, I gotta have a personal story with you guys. So for school events, I was so nervous because we had a homecoming dance. Every high school has a homecoming dance, and I really did not want to go because I just thought, oh, freshmen, they're not supposed to do high school dances. Those are for the seniors and the juniors. But I worked with the courage. I went. I didn't ask a girl yet. So I went to the dance, and I just hung out with my friends. I felt like I was so nervous I'd get picked on by the older people because I was smaller. And no, I just hung out with my friends the entire night. It was great. And then another thing, this kind of goes back to the don't overreact thing. So there was a thing at that dance that I was so nervous to do. I wanted to ask a girl to slow dance, and it's such a big deal in your mind. Oh boy, what if she says no? Blah, 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 blah. But in reality, you're just asking a girl a simple question. If she says yes, then great, your mission accomplished. You get to slow dance with a girl. But if not, it's not the end of the world. Don't overreact. It's just a no, and there's plenty of other fish in the sea.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in on what you said there. And yet again, guys, when I was a freshman, you're what, 14 to 15 years old, 13, whatever. Like, it's not the end of the world. Chances are, if you dance with a girl and she says, if you ask her and she says no, you're not going to marry her or anything like that. And don't get butthurt about it. It's just a dance. But chances are, if you ask a nice girl, they're not going to say no. Don't ask any girl to dance and act like they're going to say yes, but it's not the end of the world. Trust me, I've had my fair share of rejections with dances.
I just want to mention, if you are a girl, it applies the same thing with guys. Most guys are probably going to say yes because they're not used to being asked, so it's really flattering.
That is very true. I want to tell you a story about myself that this didn't apply to freshman year, but just something with a girl. So I'm a nice guy and all, I'm not mean to other people. Like I said, with a couple other tips, be yourself. Don't act like you're better than anyone. But I was in a group of people, and the couple people group, they walked away, and a slow song came up, and there was a girl in front of me that was a part of the group. And I didn't, like her, and wasn't, I knew her. She was kind of cute and all. And I just simply said, would you like to dance? We're all here alone. And she said yes, and I had a fun time, and I made a new friend. Because I was new at the school at the time when it happened. So, ladies, you don't have to, the same thing applies to you. It's not big of a deal.
Yes. 9 times out of 10, I'm sure they'll say yes. You're probably going to deal with a yes, and if not, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So that brings us on to tip number 6, unless you have anything else to say about tip number 5.
No, I'm playing 5. Tip number 6 is participate. Just like we said with school events. Don't not go to a dance because you have no one to go with or something like that. Because high school is your best years of life, seriously. So you don't want to, be an old man and tell your kids you never went to a dance. And I know there's probably people out there watching this right now that don't go to dances just because it's stupid, school dances are lame. Go out there and have a fun time and be positive. And just be positive with everything. Even participate in class. Like, there's papers that you don't want to do because they're only a point and a bonus, but just do it and have some fun with it. Like I said, it's your best years of life. Have fun in high school. Don't do your work. If there's a bonus opportunity, get out there and do it. Who cares? If you got to write a paper, have fun with it. I love free writes. At my old school, we had to do free writes for bonus points, and free writes are awesome. You'd write whatever you want, talk about whatever you want, have fun, just participate.
Exactly. You did a really good job mentioning that. Something we didn't even write down for this, but I forgot, this is a pretty good tip, and I'll just include it with participate because it works. Don't procrastinate. It's
Definitely.
a horrible feeling. If procrastination doesn't mean if it's a paper due in 2 months. I mean, it could be something overnight. You have a paper due the next day. You'll say, "Oh, I'll get home and do it as soon as I get home." Then you'll say, "Oh, I'll just watch an episode of Netflix." No, don't do that. If you have a study hall that day, why not just do it? Because there is no better feeling than the next day your teacher asks for that paper and you have it ready. If you're organized, you'll have it right out. You'll be able to give it right to the teacher, and it's a better feeling. I mean, don't you know how bad it is whenever you don't have the paper and your teacher's disappointed in you? It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, we've all done it. And another thing I want to bring up, especially with the procrastination, and what some people do is just like, oh, you're in class and you have time to do it in class, and you're like, oh, well, I'll just screw off in class for the rest of the time and, BS with my friends, pardon my French there, but, just talk with your friends and you'll do it at home. But aren't you in school to do your work and you mess around at home? That's what I always thought of it. So if I had time in class or a study hall, I did it in study hall. And like, you can talk with your friends at home. I mean, do what you got to do in school, screw off at home. Really.
And it doesn't mean that you can't have fun learning. And I mean, if you have a study buddy that'll actually do the work with you, then I mean, yeah, you can study and do your work while having a friend. I mean, just do your work and make use of the time that you have. Take a study hall if you can.
Definitely. We want to move on to our next tip number 7. Levi, I believe you had this one.
Yes, be respectful. I know you have your opinions, but don't judge other people for like what they are. I mean, you're not always gonna agree with people. That's just life. It's not just in high school. But that doesn't mean that you have to talk bad about people or spread rumors just for 5 seconds of haha, I know more than you do. No, be respectful of other people. Don't you know how bad it is when other people are talking bad about you, or you find out about a rumor that is not true at all? It's a horrible feeling, and just why cause that on other people? Just be respectful of your teachers and your students and school property.
Yeah, definitely about the be respectful thing. And this is for all the guys out there watching. This is the way us bros are. We fight for 5 minutes and we're good. So you know what I mean. So just don't overreact. Like I said, don't overreact with stuff like that, and you just be respectful to your friends. I know bros, we only fight for 5 minutes, but what's the point? I mean, life's too short to argue and stuff like that. And let others, and I forgot to tell you this, Levi, is let others express their opinions with this. I know we didn't write this down on the tips, and I always say, and Levi, even when me and you were talking about stuff, and you say, whatever we say, and I'll be like, who am I to judge someone else's opinion? Okay, they are all entitled. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And me being a kid in high school, gonna be a junior now, like, I have my flaws. So who am I to point out someone else's flaws? Be nice to everybody. You can't stress it enough. Be a nice person. You don't want to be that really jerk in high school, because we've all had it, Levi, where your parents say, "Oh, I went to high school with that person." Say hi to them. Nah, they're kind of a jerk. You do not want to be that person in life. And it all starts freshman year.
Yes, it does. Oh, but by the way, to mention, we're both juniors. I guess we didn't mention that early in the video. We're both going into our junior year of high school. So
we've all been through it. I wanted to get on tip number 8, which is be clean. And this really comes into high school and when you start in junior high, technically. I remember in my former school, before I attended Freeport with Levi, it was a very small school, and the 7th and 8th grade was combined with the high school. So really, you were with high schoolers when you started in the 7th grade. But anyway, with the be clean, you want to start, like, you have gym class, and like I said, this will come into effect in the 7th grade or whatever you do with junior high, which gym class. In gym class, you change. When you start to change for gym, of course, you need to bring some deodorant. What I'd always do, I'd always have some deodorant, a spray. One thing too, don't take Axe. I know everyone's into Axe, but Axe doesn't smell good. Take some cologne, anything like that. And what I'd always do as well is bring a towel with you to wipe off your sweat. And I know this is kind of weird and all, but especially if you have gym, I know Levi, me and you, we have gym, what, third period next year. You know, so
yeah, we do.
And we're already
2
years in a row. We want to, like, of course, and we already know in the back of our heads, we don't even think about it. We're going to be prepared for the rest of the day to be hygienic. You don't want to be that person that no one wants to sit with because they smell. And even if they don't smell, like, oh, like, you know, they kind of are a little bit sweaty after gym class. Do your absolute best to stay, you know, clean in school. I always bring a towel. And of course, guys, come on, shower before school, you know, put on deodorant, brush your teeth. Don't be that person. I mean, I know it's common sense, but you know, we still walk by people in high school that stink. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
And that will really, like, determine what you are. So freshman year, you know, like second day of school, it's like, oh, you know, I missed my alarm, you know, you forgot to shower or whatever. And then next thing you know, everyone knows you as the kid that stinks. Don't be that person. Like I said, Levi, you want to touch up any of that stuff?
Yes, I do. Just a quick thing. I don't. This is definitely not the K-Star school. You don't have to shower. I mean, maybe it's different at your school, but don't be worried about that. Showering at school, I meant, like after gym class in school. I've never had to do that. I never had a problem with stinking because I don't shower after gym class. Just put on deodorant and you're good to go. Wipe off your sweat and you're good to go. Maybe fix your hair or anything like that if you like spike it or something and it got messed up.
Another thing to go with that, and if you have to bring even an extra pair of clothes, like of course you have your clothes you wore to school and then your gym clothes with you. If you have to bring another pair, like to wear after gym, go ahead and do it, because it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, if I don't know, you sweat a little bit and it's like, oh, I still have that, you know, sticky feeling with my clothes. I put them back on. Put another pair on and just be good with it.
I think we did great on tip number 8, be clean. Tip number 9, don't care what others think.
Yes.
So if we go back to the be respectful part, be respectful to other people. But unfortunately, not everybody's going to follow that rule. People are going to judge you. They're going to spread rumors. But don't care what others think. We mentioned earlier, if you want to take a class that nobody else takes and it's kind of embarrassing, if you're a guy and you want to take like an acting class or something and that's seen as girly, don't care what others think. If it's something you really want to do, just do it. Don't care what others think. It's a big waste of time overthinking. Oh, does this person think of that? Does Billy think of me like that? Don't care what others think. It's a big time waster, and you're gonna feel a lot more relaxed, and you won't be stressed out if you just go with the flow.
And I have a story to follow up with this. The end of the summer, beginning of summer, the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup. You know, go Pens. And me and Levi's high school is in the Pittsburgh area, so we are big Penguins fans. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I do have Pittsburgh Penguins season tickets for the playoffs as well. And every playoff game, they had a yellow out. And they would give out a yellow shirt that says, "Let's go Pens." And every game, it was something different. And not only that, though, so we had 4 seats and we took the whole family. Well, I'd have 4 Let's Go Pen shirts of the same, okay? But to top that off, they had, I don't even know how many home games, 10, 11, or 12. So I had 12 different Let's Go Pens shirts with 12 different towels. And, you know, with me, I want the Pens to win the cup. So I wore a Let's Go Pen shirt all the time. And I did take a shower, you know, beforehand, and I washed the clothes. I didn't wear the same shirt every day. It was a different shirt in which people couldn't really catch up on. But so I'd wear my Let's Go Pen shirt. Someone would be like, "Is that what you wear? You know, the same thing every day?" I'd be like, "Well, I'll let you know, I have like 15 of them, and Let's Go Pens. I don't care what people think. I'm gonna wear a pen shirt every day because I want these Pens to win. Who cares? Oh, this kid all he does is watch sports and care about hockey. Who cares? Do what you want to do." I mean,
and also, when you don't care what others think, surround yourself with friends that aren't gonna think, that aren't gonna care what you do, aren't gonna judge you. Like I'm a big Pens fan too. I never once judged Alex for wearing Penguin shirts. Like I know they were different. I never judged him on wearing those to school because I don't care. I mean, I don't care what. I mean, I'm not gonna judge him. And just surround yourself with friends that aren't going to judge you. because I mean, you're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna want to tell people, like, you want to tell somebody that won't judge you a secret that you have. I mean, and you won't have to worry about them being mean to you.
Speaking of trustworthy friends, I'm getting a little off topic here, but I did start at at the School of Freeport this school year in January. I didn't know anybody, and Levi Hutch was one of my first friends. And Levi, I just want to thank you for being a respectful friend and not, judging others or myself. I thank you for being my friend through these past like 6 or 7 months, and I appreciate it. And you're a good bro of mine. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Alex. See what good friends will do for you. And if you don't have any friends, do things that are common. So if you take a club about, I don't know, tennis, you'll find friends that like tennis, and you'll have friends with similar interests.
Yes, definitely. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there, especially with a freshman. And let's just say, like, you're taking an acting class and you got a few seniors. Say, what's up? Who cares? Just, what's up, man? How you doing? Like, I'm a freshman. You don't know much about here. Help me out. Something like that. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
But,
yeah, I mean, if you ask for help on the first day of school, this is a big thing, because I was definitely worried about this. If you don't know where to go, because I had a freshman orientation, but I was, like, so nervous. Like, I didn't really pay attention. Ask somebody for help, whether it be a teacher or a student. And honestly, my sophomore year, my very first day of sophomore year, I had a class, and I had no idea where to go, so I asked one of my teachers I had from freshman year. I didn't feel like I was getting judged. I mean, I know I went to that school for an entire year. I didn't know where a room was. I mean, people aren't going to laugh at you for not knowing where it is. If you're really nervous, ask a teacher, because unless they want to be fired, they won't judge you for not knowing where a classroom is.
Definitely. Well said, well said.
Yeah.
I believe that brings us to tip number 10. Take it serious.
The most important one.
Yeah, the most important. Take it serious, but don't take it too seriously. So you really got to follow with what we're going to talk about here, because this is a tip that we both came up together. So you have 4 years left of high school, which comes to what, 400, 500 some days, I don't know, so, who knows. But you have 4 years left, and your grades dictate what you do with your life. I know I said it a couple times in the video, but you have to know that this is where it really matters. I know people say, oh, well, colleges only look at junior and senior and a little bit of sophomore. Nah, it's going to come down to freshman. If you flunk your freshman year and, get straight A's for the rest of high school, they're going to see that you flunked freshman year. You need to take that seriously, do your homework, like I said, and be on task with your stuff. But on the other hand, be loose with what you do. You know what I mean? So it has to be serious. You don't have to wear a shirt and tie to school. I mean, and another thing, and this goes on with, give yourself a little bit of leeway time, and don't take it as seriously as you think, though. But reward yourself with things. You know what I mean? Like, Levi, if you kind of touch up on that for me, you don't have to spend every waking second studying, so go ahead.
Yeah, and how about this? How about you can take a really big test seriously, but then how about this? If I plan on studying for an hour every day for this test that's on Friday, how about I can reward myself with a trip to the movies on Friday? Reward yourself. Don't be too stressed. Don't take it too seriously. I mean, take it seriously, but don't walk through the halls trying to act all sophisticated. Just be yourself. I mean, we go back to tip number 1 and tip number 10. Be yourself.
Yes. Another thing with what I would do is, this kind of goes with it, this tip ties in with everything, but go to your school events. So what I'd always do is, I would have, there's football games on Fridays for your high school. So what I'd do is I'd always go to the football games, and I like football, but like you had a hard week, why not chill out on a Friday night, stay up late, whatever, hang with your friends. My buddy would always throw, cool party, and there'd be like half the grade there, and see your other friends and see your teachers. Say what's up to them. I always thought that was cool, like, hey, what's up, Mr. Smith, how you doing? Like, and just talk to them. Like I said, be relaxing with yourself. Like,
yeah, I mean, if teachers, like, I have teachers at my school right now that I really enjoy seeing every day. Like, I see them as one of my friends. I see them, I ask, how was your night last night? What are you planning on doing? Did you catch that Penguin game last night?
Yes.
I mean, it's awesome to be respectful to your teachers, and don't take it too seriously. Everyone has to go through high school.
Yes.
It should be some of the best years of your life. Yep. So take it serious, but don't.
One thing I also want to bring up with, take it seriously. Whatever you do, never have it in your head to drop out of high school, okay? You've seen it all. You've heard all the stories. This person dropped out of high school and all that kind of stuff. Do not whatsoever ever have the thought of dropping out of high school, because chances are you might be able to get a job at McDonald's if you drop out of high school. And Levi, if you want to touch up on that, just keep yourself positive. I mean, you shouldn't really ever think of dropping out, but keep yourself positive with it. Make high school a fun thing. Trust me, those kids that, drop out of high school, they got nothing big in store for them. Like, you're in high school freshman year, you can figure out what you want to do for a living, and if you want to say you want to be a billionaire, go out and be a billionaire. There's no big plans coming ahead with dropping out of high school.
Yes, I mean, Bill Gates, how did he get so successful? He completed high school. I mean, never think of dropping out. That is a silly thing, and I mean, you got to get through high school. It's hard, but it's a good hard. I mean, it's gonna challenge you. You'll get some life lessons from it, and you'll learn. It'll help you get prepared for the real world.
My mom would always tell me this saying that she would say, in the end, graduating from high school is one of the easiest things to do in life, because you're going to be having a lot of tasks and stuff like that to do in life, and you'll figure out, like, I don't know, you have to get a license to do your job. You'll figure out that high school is one of the easiest things to accomplish in your life, but you still have to take it seriously.
Do you think that wraps it up for our top 10 video?
I think that wraps it up. I think that wraps it up. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, this is one of our first podcasts, so thank you for staying with us through, a little bit of shaky commentary times, but we appreciate you staying here. And if you are a freshman coming up here, and I don't know if you're looking at this the day before your first day of freshman year, good luck, stay positive, and we wish you a good high school career.
Yeah, me too. To a finishing thing, a video like this would really help me going into freshman year. So drop a like if you think this video helped you prepare for your freshman year. And if you aren't a freshman, if you think we left something out, comment it below, because I know any incoming freshman will really appreciate your support.
Yes, we thank you. This is Alex and Levi from LA Podcast signing off. Thank you.